I'm Maddie Clark. High school years are exciting, and various important decisions are happening for most students. Getting your driver's license is one of those important decisions. Not only will you need to understand the rules of driving and demonstrate your driving ability, but you will also be asked one very important life-changing question. Do you wish to register to become an organ and tissue donor? The reason you're asked is because there are thousands of people waiting for a life-saving transplant. Organ donation is a process of surgically removing an organ or tissue from one person, the organ donor, and placing it into another person, the recipient. Transplantation is necessary because the recipient's organ has failed or been damaged by disease or injury. The state of Missouri has made it easy to register to become an organ tissue donor. Just say yes when asked at the DMV if you would like to register to become an organ donor. Whether you choose to donate can affect your life and save someone else's life, like Spencer Vincent.
My name is Spencer Vincent, and I just had a liver transplant. I was diagnosed when I was 3, and it's basically your immune system is basically attacking your liver. My skin was yellow, I didn't have any energy, and my stomach hurt.
What would have happened had you not had that transplant?
I would be really, really sick, and I could have died. Well, organ donation is basically when your brain isn't working, but all your other organs are functioning, and they can take any organ out of your body and put it in somebody else. I think it's a great thing because it saves hundreds of lives.
If knowing that once you pass away, you're able to save a person like Spencer, maybe organ donation is the right decision for you. Are you signed up to be an organ donor?
Am I an organ donor? No.
No, I'm not an organ donor.
No, I'm not. But I will be.
No, I'm not an organ donor.
And then, do you know how old you have to be to become an organ donor?
The age you have to be, I'm going to assume it's 19.
Well, I would assume it's 15.
No, I don't know the age to register to become an organ donor.
Probably 16, since that's when you get your license, I'm thinking.
Is 15? But anyone at any age can become an organ donor. Until you are 18 years of age, it is up to your parents. However, by registering, your parents know of your wishes. Such a difference organ donation can make. One body can save up to 8 lives through organ donation and 50 lives through tissue donation. The need for donation is huge. Over 110,000 people nationwide are waiting for that life-saving transplant. Meet KHS teacher Kelly Schneider. Her brother needed a life-saving kidney transplant.
My name is Kelly Schneider, and I teach drama here at Kirkwood High School. 2 years ago, my baby brother was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease. It was a complete surprise. We did everything we could to support him, but after nearly a year of that, they started realizing that his kidneys were going into renal failure, stage 5, and he needed to be put on a transplant list. At that point in time, they were looking for donors, and I guess I thought that people would just be able to be matched on a list, and that these magical matches would happen. And I thought about donating for a while. I went through some very easy testing. It was very simple: blood work, chest X-ray. Nothing painful for me at all. Just some time. We found out I was a perfect match for my brother, which is very rare. So I felt like this was a sign that it was all going to work out. Proceeded through more testing. When I went for my final round of testing, my mom went with me to be there because we had a lot of things to do that day. And I did a scan in the morning and I did a psychological counseling to make sure that I wasn't being coerced or bribed. And the nurse came in and said, you can't donate because I have kidney stones. And so they were not willing to put me at risk, and it would also cause my brother to be at risk eventually. I felt like the rug had been pulled out from underneath me. I was so upset, felt like I was letting my brother down. But my mom was right there, and she said, "Can I donate?" She's in her late 60s now, but really healthy and awesome. And they said, "Well, we've had donors older than you, and they've been successful, so let's fast track you." They started her testing that day. They fast tracked her. She was a match, perfectly healthy. In I think July, they went into surgery, and they both came out great. And I found out that my role, although it was not able to be the donor, was going to be a caregiver. We just feel so thankful that the team at Barnes-Jewish was awesome. And live donors are so important in that process, and that doesn't always work out. But his prognosis and his health the day he came out of surgery, he felt better. We feel like he has a second chance. We just are really thankful. And so I know from my process, even though I cannot donate a kidney, that I would donate in a heartbeat in any situation that I could, because I've seen firsthand how important it is. My view is that if it came about the case, if something happened to me and I was killed in a car accident or something, I'm not going to be using my organs anymore. So if I can in some way help somebody else, like my brother was helped, then absolutely, I feel like that is probably the best chance I have at immortality, is to know that I could give somebody else life.
Many people have misconceptions about becoming a donor. Here's Maggie to disprove these myths.
Hi, my name is Maggie Bradley. I'm a nurse and organ procurement coordinator for Mid-America Transplant. I'm basically the nurse that shows up when someone is going to become an organ donor. We then take over care of the patient. We allocate the organs. We talk to the transplant centers and coordinate the time that we all meet at the OR to recover the organs to save lives.
I've heard like that doctors will like not to save you because they want your organs if like you got in a really bad car crash.
That is absolutely false. For you to be an organ donor, you have to have a beating heart. They have to treat you. Treating you is treating your organs, and healthy organs makes a healthy organ donor.
I've heard myths that if you're not in the best health, you're not in the right shape to donate your organs.
Each potential organ donor is evaluated by a healthcare professional, somebody like me who comes on site. We never really know if you can be an organ donor, but most people can, and they believe because they have sickle cell disease or they have diabetes or hypertension, they can't be an organ donor, but that's absolutely not true. And every day, the criteria to be an organ donor or for an organ to be accepted, as surgeons are getting more and more aggressive, this criteria changes. And
I don't need to tell my family that I'm an organ donor because I'm already registered.
Having the conversation about being an organ or tissue donor is very important to have. That way, when your family is sad and having to make this very important decision, they know that they're honoring your wishes. And there is no question. And people feel good about making this decision when they know after having that conversation with you.
Everyone says that my family have to pay if I become a donor.
I work for an organ procurement organization. Every single cost of organ donation is billed to us. The families will never see anything on a bill.
I don't think my religion would let me donate my organs.
Every U.S. religion, major U.S. religion, supports organ donation, or they support the individual's right to make that decision for themselves. Most religions see it as the ultimate gift, the gift of life. If you have any questions, I urge you to speak to your religious leaders or anyone you respect.
Enough people donate, so if I ever needed a transplant, I could get one easily.
That is absolutely, unfortunately, not true. Every day, 18 to 22 people, I think that fact is always changing, die a day waiting for an organ. 30,000 people die a year, I want to say, in our region that my organization covers. Less than 1% of that 30,000 can be an organ donor. So absolutely, there's a shortage of organs. I would say do your research, have conversations with your loved ones, let them know how you feel, and don't believe the myths. Find out for sure. People are depending on you to make the right decision. I am absolutely an organ donor.
Everyone has a story to tell on how organ donation impacts them. Here's Nina's.
My name is Nina Van Camp, and I had a heart transplant on March 13th, 2014. Like when I was born, I was purple and I wasn't getting oxygen because the connection between my heart and my lungs wasn't connected right. And so as I was growing up, I had multiple surgeries and just ways to like kind of reroute everything. But after the day after Christmas of 2014, I went to the hospital, and that's when they found out that I had a bunch of clots in my body, and I was just, my leg was all swollen, and I just couldn't function right. And so I stayed in the hospital for about 3 months. Was on the heart transplant list, and that's when they told us that I needed a new heart, and I finally got one on March 13th. Honestly, if you don't donate like organs, then you won't be able to save people's lives, obviously. And your body's just going to rot in the ground. So you might as well just, give it away and help people. And that's what happened with Noah, and he saved my life.
When you're being asked to register as an organ donor, it is a life or death decision, but most importantly, life.
I'm Jake Super. I'm a senior at Kirkwood High School. My sister got a liver transplant when she was 17 years old. When I found out my sister was really sick, it really, first of all, it sort of surprised me because I was really young at the time. And then as I found out more about what was going on, it really started to scare me because I knew that she was sick when I was young, but I never realized that it was to the extreme that she could like not make it if she didn't get a transplant within a certain amount of time, or if she even did get that transplant, that it may not like actually help her. It was really scary for me and my entire family. We talk about donation almost every day of our life. We have stickers on our cars with Donate Life. My mom has a Donate Life tattoo. I actually do also. This is my Donate Life tattoo. So even if you, like I said, you don't understand what it is, or you don't understand why people do it or anything like that, it is saving people's lives, people's family members' lives, their sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers. And it's really making a difference. If it weren't for organ donors, my sister wouldn't still be here. And yeah, it means a lot.
Here's Sam Stewart's story.
I'm Sam Stewart. My grandfather was a recipient for multiple organs, and my personal story is basically I lived at my grandfather's house for 2 weeks while I was down there, then came back. I always enjoyed my time with him. He was a nice guy. He was fun to be around. What organs he received was in 1996. He ended up receiving a heart transplant, which without I would not have been able to meet him. And then in 2007, he received a kidney transplant from my aunt. It makes me feel that organ donation is definitely a positive thing that people should take part in order to help save lives or better the lives of other people.
There are many reasons to become a donor. These are just a few. Everyone has a story, and everyone has a decision. If yours is to be an organ donor and you haven't signed up yet, sign up now at the link posted below. Or register when you receive your license at the DMV. Because you have made this decision to become an organ or tissue donor, you may help save someone's life someday. Be the hero.